In this video, we are going to learn how to construct a box plot based on the information from our 5-number summary. So for a box plot, we have to also determine the lower and the upper fences. This helps us identify any possible outliers. So I'm going to look back at this data here for our interest rates that credit card companies charge. And we have Q1 being 12% and we have Q3 being 14.4%. So I'm going to come over to the side and I'm going to find my lower fence so that I can identify any possible outliers. And that's going to be my Q1 minus 1.5 times my IQR. Q1 is 12 minus 1.5. Recall that IQR is my Q3, 14.4, minus my Q1. So I have 12 minus 1.5. 14.4 minus 12 gives me 2.4. Notice I'm doing what's inside that parentheses or the grouping symbols first. Then I'm going to do this multiplication. So I get 12 minus 3.6. 3.6 is 1.5 times 2.4. 12 minus 3.6 gives me an 8.4. I'm going to come up here to my line of numbers in order. And 8.4 is between 6.5 and 9.9. So this is my, nope, not my upper fence. It's my lower fence. So my lower fence is here. Then I'm going to come over to the other side over here and calculate my upper fence. Recall that upper fence is equal to Q3 minus 1.5 times the IQR. Q3 was 14.4 minus 1.5. Well, my IQR I calculated here as being 2.4. So I get 14.4 minus 3.6. 14.4 minus 3.6. You guys didn't catch me. That should be a plus. This should be Q3 plus 1.5 times IQR. So I actually end up with 14.4 plus 3.6 gives me 18. This is my upper fence. So here on my data, my upper fence is above all of my data values. So whenever I'm drawing a box plot, I need to find my Q1, my Q2, my Q3, my lower fence, and my upper fence. What I will do is I'm going to draw vertical lines at Q1, the median, or Q2, and Q3. For this, I'm going to go ahead and draw a number line. And my lowest value was at 6.5, so I'm just going to start at 6 and count up to 15. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And I'm going to go ahead and come back through here and put little hash marks because we have several that are halves. And so when drawing this, I'm going to draw a vertical line at Q1, at Q2, and at Q3. So Q1 was at 12%. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to draw a vertical line. I tend to go ahead and label it Q1. At Q2, it's 13.6. So here's 13.5. Here's about 13.6. There's Q2. Q3 was at 14.4. So here's 14.5, a little bit less. Here is Q3. So I've drawn a vertical line. Then I enclose these vertical lines in a box. Well, hence what we call a box plot. So we draw a box for Q1, Q2, and Q3. Now then, what I need to do is look at my data values up here. Notice that this right here is going to be an outlier. 6.5 will be an outlier. When I draw my lines, what we call whiskers, from my box, I go to the number just inside the lower fence. So that just inside the fence is 9.9. So I'm going to come back down here to my graph, and I'm going to go to 9, about 9.9. I'm going to put a dot, and I'm going to draw a line. This is what we call as a whisker. I'm going to go back up to my data, look at my upper fence, and I'm going to go just inside my upper fence to the next data value, which is 4.5. Not 4.5, 14.5. I apologize. So it's going to be about right here, and I'm going to draw another little whisker. Now you'll notice that I don't have the 6.5, my lowest value, on the graph yet. Any data value less than the lower fence or greater than the upper fence are outliers and are marked with an asterisk. So I'm going to come here to 16.5, or not 16, but 6.5, and I'm just going to draw an asterisk. So I have my box, I have my whiskers on both sides, and then I have my outlier. If you don't have an outlier, you're not going to have an asterisk. If you have more than one outlier, you're going to have more than one asterisk. Now we can look at the shapes of the box plots the same way that we look at the shapes of histograms. So if you look at this, here is a box plot where the left whisker is much smaller than the right whisker. And you'll notice that the Q2 is slightly closer to Q1. This is considered skewed right. The longer whisker is on the right side. For symmetric bell-shaped box plots and curves, notice that the whiskers are almost the exact same, and the vertical line here in the middle, the Q2, is right down the middle. So this is a symmetric or bell-shaped. For a skewed left, you'll notice that we have a longer whisker on the left than we do on the right. Also, the Q2 is closer to the right side. So this is skewed left. Let's look at the box plot we drew. Which way do I have my longer whisker? Do I have it to the right or do I have it to the left? My longer whisker is to the left. Therefore, this particular diagram is skewed to the left, which is what example 9 is asking. Using the box plot found in example 8, describe the shape of the histogram. So the histogram will be considered skewed left. Go ahead and practice some of these box plots and identifying or attempting to identify their shape. And then if you have any questions, let me know.